What is going on, guys? Today for you, I have 50 years in the future in Football Manager 2018. As you can see, we're in the year 2068 at the end of the season. I'm going to look to do a few more of these and extreme as well. I don't want to just go 100, 200 years, 300. After this one, I'm going to go straight to 500, simulate then 1,000, and then I think from 1,000, then I'll go like 2,000, 3,000. And yeah, see how long we can do this for and how the save progresses. I'll keep doing it until it's too slow. Pretty much, like you simulate too many seasons, the game doesn't really run properly. So make sure you drop a like if you do want to see that, though. Definitely for the next one to be 500 years and then 1,000. Let me know if you'd like to see that. And of course, if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on to see when I upload my Football Manager content. Plenty of videos coming your way. So here, I think simply we're going to check how is the Premier League looking, and there will be a few interesting moves. Also, I did want to say I only have the English leagues loaded in terms of this part right now, but I'll add more leagues where I can just easily do that if you go like add or remove leagues, that kind of stuff, but it makes it easier for simulating. But going forward, when I make future ones like 500 years, 1,000 years, I'll add them as we go on. Not during the simulation, but just a few years before until they get added. They take like a year to go through. But anyway, that's just those little stuff. But yeah, let me know if you'd like to see around the world. I'm sure you will. So let's just take a look at the Premier League. And you can see there's just been some crazy dominance for Chelsea and Manchester City. That is for sure. But if there's been a surprise packet, I would have to say, and it's obvious that is Scunthorpe. They've made their way into the Premier League, but also more than just consolidating, actually succeeding. So if you take a look, it did take them a while to settle, to be honest, but actually for a team to get promoted in those like League One, Championship to actually, it took a while. It took a while, to be fair, but they're in the Premier League. And again, if you talk about taking a while, but it's still a big transition to do it at any time because, of course, you always have the top 4, top 6, and they were able to win the league in the previous season. As you can see, this season they came fourth again, but yeah, winning the league, yeah, this later season they came fourth. So they've had that recent kind of form. They made the Champions League there in that season, but now they're kind of consolidating. Like for the last 6 seasons now, they would have made it. See, that's 5 there, and then their current one, obviously that's not updated yet, but they finished 4th. So yeah, that's a pretty big effort. That is, that's like really good. That's really good for them. Like that's the one to stand out the most, because I know we're only 50 years in the future. You'll see a lot more changes when you go 100 years and a bit more, that kind of stuff. But early days, that is the biggest shock. So also, I just want to check out the stadiums, if there's any standout ones. How about this? Manchester City Stadium is called Bernardo Silva Park. I think that's going to be the one to stand out the most. So obviously, Bernardo Silva, like he was very good for Manchester City in this save. We'll just go check him out. And the stadium is named after him, as you can see there. 415 appearances, 108 goals for the attacking midfielder. He had a great career. Obviously, he didn't go on to become a coach or a manager, anything like that. He just had, yeah, you can read his accolades here especially. He had a great career for City, and the result of that, he had the stadium named after him. He was a legend for Manchester City in this save. But I will just show you from when the save started, there was a lot of Manchester dominance, specifically Manchester United. So that's good to see as a Manchester United supporter myself. But with the like winners, runners-up, third place, there really isn't any surprises until okay, let's just go up for a second. There really isn't any, maybe Burnley. I want to see how they're sitting now, because they would have had like a decent run. I want to see their recent finishes, how they've gone, or they going back to kind of mid-table stuff. It was kind of out of the blue, we'll say. They even had relegation, like they got relegated a couple times. So within that period, that is not too bad turnarounds. And they got in Champions League. That's a big thing for Burnley. So it's definitely making their consolidation now. And they're settling like a mid-table team now, but not like a team that looks like getting down to the relegation zone for a good while. So yeah, they've consolidated in the Premier League. But obviously, I would say, yeah, like Scunthorpe winning the Premier League, I think that that has to be a major thing for them, considering that was their first ever Premier League title. So yeah, that will go down in their history. Next up here, we're going to take a look at the World Cup winners. So again, we'll check off from where the save started, 2018, the World Cup coming up this year, of course. Let me know in the comments who you think's going to win in real life. But here we go. Germany win, then France, Argentina. Germany have a lot of success, like in that. And if you take into account, they won the last World Cup in real life as well. If we go into the records, that will make Germany six times winners, like take the lead. So, and obviously back in the day, Western Germany as well. So that was, they've got some great success, and after that one they won in 2042, like it's just like, it looks like a few seasons or something like that, but it's actually 20 years. It's 20 years. If we talk about some surprise packets, maybe Switzerland becoming runners, like them making the final, that would be really huge. And England, they haven't been able to win it just yet, England. I'm sure you guys, you want to take a look at the English team. I want to show you the winners, of course, but we'll just take a look at like their best players. Obviously, I'm not a manager. I'm unemployed, so we just sit for simulating. So we'll just see through this way. We'll take a look at the highest value players. Let's take a look at this guy, and he doesn't sound like he has an English name as well. So let's just take a look into his nationality. Yeah, he's obviously you get that with countries as well. Not everyone is 100%, like they've got their background from their parents and all of that. But that says a lot. For sure, like he was born in Congo. So yeah, you can see there, he came over to England and he's become a great player. What's his history? Yeah, as you can see, some interesting, yeah, he's like, and he doesn't want to play in England as well. He's gone out to Juventus, but obviously he's made his name for himself at Wolves, coming through their academy. Wolves in the Premier League as well. But yeah, as you can see, he wanted to move on, new challenge, but I suppose that's a good deal. He didn't have any standout years, like performance-wise. Sometimes it can be hard for central midfielders. Look at those physical attributes, though. I think he performs pretty well. Like he seems to be. That's the thing. He seems to be England's best player. Unless we take a look at some other guys, there's a lot of high-value types. Andrew Hilton maybe declining a little bit. So he was, I'd say, a star striker, like one of the best. He scored 16 goals. I don't want to spend too much time on England, just give you a gauge on some of their best players. Jason Masters, he seems to be in the prime of his career as well. And okay, here we go. He's just only played the 5 games. So I want to compare this, because I'm Australian myself, if you can't tell by my accent. I just want to show you the best player for Australia. Like, we'll take a look at the world rankings as well. You can see, for us, that's pretty good. That's a bit of an improvement. So Brazil's number 1. England is number 2. Like, you're number 2. Surely you have to be close to winning a World Cup. But yeah, for myself, being Australian, yeah, 23 is not too bad for us. But I want to go to the senior squad. I want to show you our best talent. I say our best talent. We would love to have someone like this. This Brett Vernon Page. He's only 22, 46 mil. But take a look at this. He's already played 44 games for the national team, 44 caps. But of course, we're shit. We don't have a lot of good players. So someone that's similar for England will take longer to come through. Like that guy who was 25, only played 5 games or something like that. But yeah, we'd love a guy like this for sure at Bayern. Interesting. Very interesting career. Good signing for Benfica. Like, obviously would kill it in the A-League. And if you didn't know, like, a lot of quality young Australian talents come through here, the FFA Centre of Excellence. So definitely check them out every so often in the game. Because look at this. They've got, you're probably surprised, oh, Australia has this good youth academy. We do. But in the game at least. But we don't produce, like, so much amazing. That's why I've been confused why they have it like one of the best like academies in Football Manager, like extensive youth recruitment, excellent youth. The facilities are good for sure. It's more so the talent. It's more so the talent because football is not the major sport in Australia. There's kind of like the 3 big football codes in Australia. Like we call rugby like football, or people in New South Wales at least. And then we call AFL football as well. So there's like 3 codes of football in Australia. So yeah, That's part of it, I guess. If it was the number one sport, definitely if we had more people playing it, but more kids playing it. Anyway, my point was, if you haven't heard of it, you haven't seen it in Football Manager, check it out because there could be some talents. Like, for example, Lewis Murphy here. He doesn't look too amazing, but you see the number one player for Australia, yeah, he came through there. So, yeah, make sure you scout Australia. Make sure you take a look at that club technically, but obviously it's more like academy. Make sure you check them out. But yeah, big move to Bayern, 59 million. But with Brazil being the World Cup winners, only on penalties to Portugal, keep in mind, but the number one ranked country, you can see world ranking first. Yeah, they've got top players at top clubs, as you would expect. And you always, like, Brazil, they've always have, like, amazing talent. So let's take a look at some of their players as well. They've got 81 million worth Mauro Machado, 28 years old, more central midfielder, absolutely boss attributes. How's his career played out? He started in Brazil, as you would expect. And then that kind of final, that's when they generally move. They have a final season and that gathers more, or like their final season is amazing. Well, it turns out to be their final season anyway. And then they make a move. Dortmund, you see that's a good signing for Dortmund. They always make that profit. That's realistic, like in real life as well. And then Arsenal sign him for 91 million. And he's had a fairly consistent career. Like, yeah, to be like some Brazilian players don't absolutely star in the Premier League. But yeah, he shows he's being a good player. And they got a couple other guys here. Let's take a look at this one. He's attacking play, he's a striker. 57 caps, 34 goals. That's a pretty good record, I'll say, playing for Real Madrid, coming through Gremio there. See, once again, he like kicks off like his career amazing. So he would have started, but shows his career he was there since 2055. So yeah, that's interesting, but big moves to Liverpool and then even more so to Real, absolutely starred. Like the new Ronaldo, you could see him as. But we won't go through all of that. We want to check out the other English leagues. If there's going to be some teams that have been promoted up until the championship, we'll check that up until the championship. Let's see. We'll go to the stages and we shall go to the league table. Swansea, they'll be getting promoted back to the Premier League. Anyone else? There's like all these like Fulham, Newcastle, Leeds staying around. The championship is not looking too different, honestly. So I wouldn't say there's too much to see here, actually. And the thing might be Torquay United, obviously starting in the National League, and they got relegated down to the National League South. So even keep that in mind as well. So yeah, a bit of a bumpy road for a couple like decades or so there, and then consolidated a bit more in the Football League. But take a look at this League One, some notable past Premier League teams. It's past now. Like, take a look. West Brom, even Sunderland, they're getting promoted. But I would say, yeah, West Brom, most notable one. How about that? West Brom sitting in League One. So let's see how it panned out for them. They got relegated after a couple seasons. Then they got a promotion right back to the Premier League. And then relegated, and then stayed in Championship for a while, and now they've gone down to League One. So, yeah, that's big compared to where they are now. There's a big difference from Premier League to League One, especially with money and all that. So it can make it hard to come back. But I wanted to take a look at this team here because who knows where they can go. They were from the National League South, and then their first season they would have got promoted because you can't see it there. They would have dropped below. But then you can see like these regional Premier Division where they dropped to, they would have got relegated from the National League South. So that's where they must have started, judging that. And they've crawled their way out of that. And recently they just got up to League One. So massive credit. And they're surviving there for now. As you can see, they finished 15th. So that is not too bad. Is that Billericay Town? Sorry if I'm not pronouncing them correctly. But look, maybe they could be a team we keep tabs on, maybe simulate again. Like I said, I will probably do 500 years, a more extreme one. So yeah, a lot can happen during that time. But yeah, that'll be one I want to kind of remember at least and check how they progressed. Because that is a good improvement from a team in the non-leagues. Taking a bit of a while. So yeah, we'll have to see how they go. But definitely they've stepped up from like not really a professional club, and now they are a professional club playing in League One. So that's good for them. But guys, to finish it off, I think I'm just going to take a look at some of the managers of the club. A lot of them are going to be regens though. Like you see, Mikel Fernandez, Manchester. I just want to see if there's any like current players that have turned to be managers. But don't forget, we have simulated 50 years. So they're probably like be a bit older. Yeah, it looks like all the managers have been replaced now, just like the regens kicking into the game. But they all would seem, okay, I'll say a little bit younger, whereas 50. But there's been, a few. I think, all the real players that have turned to be managers have gotten a bit older now. Just thought I wanted to check out the Ballon d'Or. See, there's so many different things to see, but this guy, he won quite a few, so we'll see how he's looking. He might be getting a bit older. Yeah, Manchester United player. He must be real good. But take a look at his attributes. Maybe his bravery a bit lower, and then other technicals that don't really matter as a striker. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Signed for 59 million. And he's absolutely dominated. Fair enough, fair enough. He's deserving of those awards, and he still kept that up this season. Pretty good season at 30. He could probably vie for another Ballon d'Or the next season. Ross Moody, and he's from England. How about that? And he won at Real. Where did he come through, though? See, he was at Manchester United for a period. Came through Wolves. I think Wolves producing a couple players. And obviously we go down, all these players are going to be like older now. This guy is going to be retired. So yeah, keep that all in mind. This Alan Ferguson, I want to see his career at least. Oh, we can't see that. Well, you can see in his summary, the summary of his career, what he did. Celtic, Man United, PSG, lots and lots of games. Great career. You can read his all his. I'm not gonna read all that. You can pause it and read yourself. But you can see his career milestones as well. How about 34 personal ones, 17 for the team? So yeah, he had a great career. Judging off that, look, I'm salty. I can't see his attributes, and I'm sure you guys want to see as well. But you can see what he did at least there. So we'll go through and see like the goals scored. That year he had a bit more assists to his name. I felt he got that as his career went on, or he's moved to Manchester City, so he had a different role. That's fair enough. But I just want to check out the real life ones now. If we go to like 2018, like you see, Messi, Suarez, Neymar, Firmino winning when he moved to Real Madrid. Of course, he won't win it at Liverpool. And then Mbappe, and then Firmino winning a bit later in his career as well. How about that? At 33 years old, and again, of course, at Real Madrid, getting the best out of him. That was regen. Pellegrini is a real player. Pietro Pellegrini, he's one of those real life young players. Obviously, he has a picture, but he wouldn't. Okay, what is he now? He's just he's a coach at Millwall. That's pretty random. But yeah, he did win 2 seasons in a row. He's probably the most notable because you know about Mbappe, and he will cost a lot, and that would be essentially it for. You call those real life players, and the rest will be regens. Oh, but then he won a few years later. So yeah, he actually won 4. So yeah, that's pretty good. So if you find him in your save, yeah, I'd say definitely sign him. Definitely sign him. Comes one of the best players in the world. But guys, I think I will leave it there for you. What I want to see is what you want to see in the next ones I do. Let me know what you want me to showcase. And when I do the next one, when I simulate 500 seasons, I'll go to, add or remove leagues. Because I just have the English one loaded. I can load it for that. Obviously, my computer's fast. It can do it. I only have England loaded, so I can do it as quick as I can pretty much. And then I can add those. Like I said, my computer can handle it. It's just I want to do it as quick as I can, as I mentioned. So we will just finish on the Premier League. And obviously, most of you guys from UK and even outside of UK, you're still interested in the Premier League the most. But definitely going forward, I'll take a look at a few more countries and their leagues and all of that. But let me know if you found this video interesting. Make sure you leave a thumbs up on the video. Like I said as well, if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more videos like this. And I'll see you guys next time.